What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. This is the Holistic Chef, and today we'll be discussing the amazing medicinal health benefits of honey. Now before we begin, as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed medical professional. The content shown here is not intended to prevent, cure, or treat any sort of disease whatsoever. Now there are 4 key points that we'll be discussing, and that is the origins of honey, the health benefits, the different kinds of honey, and the right honey to consume. Now honey as we know it has been around for centuries and has been treasured all around the world. In fact, the ancient Egyptians used it to treat wounds, while the Greeks believed it could promote longevity. However, the origins of honey can be traced back to even as early as the prehistoric times. In fact, ancient civilizations have used this liquid gold for many purposes throughout history, from food to medicine to currency, and even fermenting it, which is typically known as mead. The practice of beekeeping was well established by this time, allowing for the controlled production of honey. Today, honey still remains an honored staple throughout many cultures around the world, prized for its natural sweetness and of course medicinal properties and cultural significance. Now moving on to those amazing health benefits. Now this may come as some surprise, but honey is naturally antibacterial and antimicrobial. Thanks to its high sugar content and low pH levels, it creates an environment where harmful bacteria can't survive. Regular consumption of raw honey may strengthen your body's defenses, which means helping you to stay energized and healthy as well. Honey also contains many vitamins and minerals, including iron and zinc, which in for men increases testosterone. In fact, many other healing properties that honey contains include wound healing, immune booster, heart health, improves digestive system, and of course many more healing properties that could dramatically improve your health in the long run. And now moving on to the different types of honey. Yes, there are many different types of honey, even though most of them look similar. However, the taste, quality, and the way that they are harvested can vary drastically. Research shows that there are over 300 different types of honey produced worldwide. And while all honey comes from bees, not all honey is equally the same. In fact, where bees source their nectar affects the taste, sweetness level, and even the color of honey that is produced. Now, the most popular honey that you'll find all around typical stores is usually clover and wildflower. Honeys that you wouldn't find at your typical superstore would include manuka honey, eucalyptus honey, buckwheat honey, orange blossom honey, and even dandelion honey. However, there are 2 honorable mentions that I would like to discuss when it comes to these 2 different kinds of honey. In fact, did you know that bees can also harvest honey from avocado and blueberry? The nectar that is usually harvested out of the avocado has more of a dark amber color and a rich buttery taste to it, while the blueberry has a lighter color paired with a more fruity sort of taste to it, which is usually harvested in Europe and in some of the states here as well. Interestingly, honey also comes in 3 different forms as well, one of them being liquid, which is its most natural state and most commonly used all around the world. Second is whipped or creamed honey, as many like to call it, which is a process where air is incorporated into the honey, breaking up the sugar molecules into a thick, fluffy consistency, which usually has a lighter hue to it. And third is combed honey, which is basically honey that comes with the natural comb that bees typically make when making their hives. And also comment down below on what kind of honey you guys like to use. Alright, and now lastly, for the right kind of honey to consume. Now, just like there are different kinds of honey, and also in the forms that they come in, there are also different ways to consume it as well. And also something to definitely watch out for. Many commercially sold honey products are typically pasteurized, which is basically a process where high heat is applied in order to extend the shelf life and keep them in liquid form to prevent any kind of crystallization. However, pasteurization and filtration basically strips many of the essential nutrients and vitamins that give honey its healthy reputation, reducing its nutritional value, such as the enzymes, antioxidant, which means sometimes even the taste as well. Now, there are 5 different types of honey that are commercially sold out there in the typical supermarkets. First one is raw honey, which comes directly from the beehives and is placed in packaging or eaten as is in its most natural state. Pure honey, which is basically still raw honey, but is taken from the beehives and gently strained over in a fine cloth, which basically removes any of the impurities such as dirt, dead bugs, or chunks that might have gone in. Now, organic honey has to be classified as only organic honey. Honey producers must prove that their bees only forage organically and follow organic practices and standards as well. Now, unfiltered honey is not necessarily raw, but it is closer to its natural state, preserving all of the good for you properties. Lastly is infused honey, which is typically combined with many different herbs and spices as well. One example that many of you might be familiar with is basically hot honey, or spiced honey and herbal honey as well. Okay, now that we've covered the essential health benefits, you might be wondering, which honey is best for you? Now let's remember, not all honey is created equally. However, many studies show that it is best to get 100% raw, unfiltered, organic for the most optimal health benefits. Now, if possible around your area, go to your local farmers markets for a more reputable source. And also, you would want to ask to make sure, how are the hives raised? What is the typical environment in which they live in? Are they in an enclosed area, or are they foraging out in the wild where they naturally should be? The most important thing to remember, one thing that I would highly recommend, make sure to thoroughly look at the kind of honey that you are getting, whether it's at the farmer's market or at your typical superstore. As long as you see the key words such as raw, unfiltered, organic, then you're basically in the safe zone. And there you have it, guys. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And also comment down below on what kind of honey you guys typically like to use. I hope all of you have a very blessed day. Eat well, live well, have a happy life, and I'll see you guys in the next one.